All right, what's going on, everybody? I want to welcome you to another week of the Sleeping Giants podcast, presented to you by EE with Mike and Terrance. What's going on, Mike?
Not much, brother. What's going on?
Not much, man. Exciting week, man. We got a lot of good stuff we're going to cover, and I think everybody will be pleased to hear with the stuff that we're going to drop this week.
Yeah, definitely a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to talk about, so I'm excited to get into it too.
Yeah, let's start it off with Riri, her halftime performance. What were your thoughts? And did she deliver the way everybody anticipated?
Well, I know a lot of people had their feelings about the performance. I saw a lot of criticism on social media. Some people saying that the whole performance was basically mixed and mastered, and there wasn't very much live singing going on. And then there was even some critiques of the amount of dancing and singing that she did. I saw from some people, but I mean, taking everything into consideration, her being pregnant, you know, being suspended up in the air while performing, and then a 13-minute performance at that, I thought it was impressive, and I didn't have any critiques of it personally.
Right. Yeah, I thought she did a good job. I mean, again, people have to remember that a lot of times singers, when they do performances, they have either background singers or they may have like a background track to cover like all those vocals, because people got to realize singers, they do like a lot of overdubs and things of that nature. So it's not like she can do 100 voices or whatever at one time. So I thought she did a pretty good job, in my opinion. The criticism I saw on my timeline was a lot of people, because I got a lot of people from the faith community on my timeline, and a lot of them was critiquing it, saying it was a ritual or devil worship. But in my opinion, I didn't dive that deep into it. Me personally, if I don't know somebody personally, then I don't try to come at them from that angle. I think sometimes it's easy to try to judge somebody from afar when you don't know them personally. And I think sometimes, maybe it's easy for Christians sometimes when they're not doing all that they should do to try to blame somebody else while the world is in the condition that is in, instead of looking themselves in the mirror. That's my opinion on it. But in my opinion, I thought Riri did a good job, especially to be gone from music for, 5-6 years. And then vocally, I thought her voice sounded pretty good.
Yeah, I saw some of those same critiques that you mentioned on my timeline as well. And I mean, I think there's a lot of that in as far as things, like you said, if you're looking hard enough, you can find a lot of those things in a lot of your favorite artist music, not just, people like Rihanna or people like that. So I think, people, if you look hard enough, you can find what you're looking for. I choose, like you said, not to look that deeply into any of that. I just saw it as a performance and saw it for that. And for that, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, same here. Same here. I don't know if I would say it would like crack the top 5 Super Bowls I've seen or whatever, but I mean, but she definitely held her own, in my opinion. I remember going back to it was years for a while. A lot of them got trashed, like after Beyonce and Bruno Mars. Like, but people got to realize Beyonce and Bruno Mars can't do it every year. You know what I'm saying? We got to have some different people doing it.
Yeah, what was the one that was really got critiqued pretty hard? I think it was Maroon 5,
Yeah, Maroon
maybe?
5. Yeah, Maroon 5
Yeah, I
got
think it was
critiqued
that
really
one.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, real bad. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about. Yeah, that one got critiqued pretty hard. I know The Weeknd got a lot of critiques as well, but
Yeah, he
I
did.
thought it was dope though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's transition, man, to the NBA All-Star weekend. I haven't got a chance to watch anything yet, but I am going to watch the game tonight. So I got that marked to watch the game, because I do watch it every year. We already know they don't play no defense until like the fourth quarter. And then when the game is getting tight, then they start locking in. Now, at least I've stuck with the All-Star Game, man, I stopped watching the Pro Bowl a long time ago. Like they don't even like block no more. They just snap and stand up. So I just stopped watching that. I just felt it was a waste of time.
I don't blame you. I really don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, every year they have the celebrity game. So there's tons of celebrities there. A couple that I can think. They had a couple of NFL guys there. I know DJ Metcalf was a part of the actual celebrity game. Albert Pujols was as well.
Mm.
Janelle Monáe was there. Then different people you see in the crowd, all kinds of rappers. Cordae was there. 21 Savage, Fat Joe, and different people like that. As far as the skills competition, they had the Utah Jazz had a team of Jordan Clarkson, Colin Sexton, who went to Alabama, and West Walker Kessler, I'm sorry, who went to Auburn. And then there was a team rookies with Jabari Smith, who also went to Auburn, Paulo Banchero, and Jaden Ivey. And then there was the Antetokounmpo brothers, and Team Jazz won that. The 3-point contest was pretty good. Tyrese Halliburton hit 31 in the first round. Jason Tatum, uh, Dame Dollar, Buddy Hield, some other notable names in there. It ended up coming down to Dame Dollar and Buddy Hield, and Dame won by 1 point, which was pretty awesome. And Dame's been in it, I think this was his third time in it. So to see him finally get that W and right down the street from his college too, where he played in college, was pretty dope. So that was cool.
Yeah.
And then the slam dunk contest was Troy Murphy from New Orleans, uh, Kenyon Martin Jr. from the Rockets, Jericho Sims from the Knicks, and Matt McClung, who is currently playing for the Philadelphia 76ers. And Matt McClung won the slam dunk contest, so that was cool. And my only critique on the whole weekend thus far, there was a lot of talk from the commentators. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but they kept saying, "Oh, well, Matt McClung, nobody knew you before tonight, but tonight you're a star, or everybody knows your name now." And it's like, no, like a lot of people have known who Matt McClung was before he even got to the NBA. He was a YouTube sensation for his high school dunks and stuff like that for years. So like just because they didn't know who Mac McClung was, just kind of bothered me that they just kept running with that narrative. Oh, well, nobody knew you before tonight, but the world knows you now. But other than that, I thought it was cool. And
Yeah.
one more thing I want to mention.
Mm.
Uh, Going into the last round of the slam dunk contest, they played a De La Soul song, "Much More," which happens to be one of my favorite De La Soul songs. And obviously, with the passing of Trugoy from De La, obviously, I'm sure that they were thinking about that, and that was kind of like a shout out to him, or some reverence to him and his family. Uh, so yeah, and we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah. Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah, like I said, I look forward to the game tonight. Um, is Giannis playing tonight? I know he was supposed to be injured or whatever.
I'm really not sure, to be honest. I know he was coaching on the sidelines, and he did some of the stuff, like I said, in the skills competition. So I don't see why he wouldn't play, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of guys who are currently injured who aren't going to play, more than likely. Steph Curry being one,
Mm.
and a couple of other guys. So, I'm still sure it'll be an interesting game, though. It's been a better All-Star weekend thus far than I expected it to be honestly.
Right.
And the best slam dunk contest, honestly, we've probably seen in a few years, because that's kind of, it's really either hit or miss for real. So
Right. Yeah, I know they're gonna
yeah,
re-air it, so I get a chance to catch all that. Yesterday I was just slammed, so I didn't get a chance to catch it. But I definitely look forward to the game tonight, and we'll kind of retouch on the game, next week in our episode. Man, we'll
for sure.
transition to Ice-T. Man, one of my just one of the guys who I look at as a pioneer for West Coast music. He really put it down. He really inspired NWA, Ice Cube, Snoop. Even Eminem, a lot of guys got inspired by what Ice-T did. And, I remember him. He's like to me, he's like the first, that I can remember, guys to rap and then transition to acting. He's been on Law and Order, SVU forever. But last week he got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He was there with his family and some of the cast of Law and Order. Dick Wolf was there. So, shout out to Ice-T.
Yeah, facts. Big shout out to Ice-T. Been doing it for a long time in the music game, and obviously, like you said, one of the first guys that was on that level in the music game that we can remember that transition to acting. And I mean, even though he hasn't done a whole lot on the big screen, TV acting is just as important and just as valuable. So, that's obviously a dope thing. And to see, the guy who once had, a band like Body Count,
Mhm.
to be playing a cop on Law and Order, like,
Right.
man, that's a huge 360. So that's a big shout out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Body Count, those guys still performing, man, still dropping
Yeah, for
albums.
sure.
Other thing too, I think he did such a good job on New York Undercover when he was featured, man. That probably really got him that role on Law and Order. But this guy's been on screen with Denzel and a lot of people, man. So he's been putting it down for a long time.
And I mean, he's a great actor. Like you really have to give him his credit. He's been doing it long enough, and he's
Right.
shown that he's got the chops for it. So
Yeah.
you got to give him the props.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's at Snoop, Ludacris. A lot of people over the years have been on Law and Order. So shout out to them.
Absolutely.
Next up, man, Dr. Dre celebrates a birthday, man. Dr. Dre just turned 58, but still putting it down, man. I look forward to the Missionary album that him and Snoop supposed to be dropping this year. But Dre is like a pioneer. He's one of the legends in this game, man.
Yeah, I think Dre's supposed to be doing something else with somebody, or something with somebody else this year that I can't think about right now. It might come to me later. We'll touch back on it if it does. But
Yeah,
yeah, shout out to Dre.
yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, we got new albums, man. We're gonna get into them. We'll start it off with Marlon Craft, Space 2. Man, I really enjoy Marlon Craft. You put me on to his music. I've been a fan since. I'm always interested to see what Marlon is gonna drop. Definitely has a message. Space 2 is the EP that we're referring to. The 3 songs, it's 6 songs on the album, but the highlights for me would be I Still Don't Cry, which there's a music video for. Like that song a lot. Dear Life, and then Human First. Those songs really stood out to me, and it was dope to hear his grandmother on the album as well.
Yeah, definitely. We spoke on Marlon a few times on the pod before. I'm a big fan of him, his message, like you said, and just his ability as a rapper. He's dope. And you can tell by the artists that he works with. He works with a lot of other dope artists. So they
Mhm.
respect his craft. No pun intended. But but for me, like you said, Space too, he did a lot of talking about mental health on this project, so that was cool to see him touch on different things like that. For me, highlights would be "Don't Cry," "Window Cracked," and "Dear Life."
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to Marlon Craft. You guys make sure you check out Space 2. It's a great EP.
Absolutely.
Next up, man, we got Styles P, Pen-Ultimate. A calm wolf is still a wolf.
Yes, sir.
Man, Styles, man, he's just, he's a legend. The bars are still crisp and sharp, man. I really enjoyed it. I was sending you a couple voice messages of some bars. Like, man, this is like that's crazy. Some of the stuff he was saying on this album. The highlights for me would be Death Before Dishonor, Porsche Lights. I like that one a whole lot. What You Want to Do, Peaceful Crazy. And then probably my favorite song on there is Cried on Sunday. I like that a whole lot. And then I like at the end of the song how he went through all the days of the week. It was kind of like it was short, but it was still dope how he kind of closed out the song, like let you know like this is a vet, that we're talking about.
No, big facts. And you said a lot of the stuff that I was thinking. So I'm gonna just piggyback on that. Like you said, lots of bars. I mean, Styles. We've talked about how he's kind of just been in his bag really for like a couple of years now, straight consistently. And I don't even know if people are really paying attention to it like that. But yeah, he's been wilding. Like you said, Death Before Dishonor, Porsche Lights was dope. Uh, I really enjoyed I Ain't Doing Too Much and Haunted House as well.
Yeah.
What You Want to Do, Peaceful Crazy. I like Blood Money as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Cried on Sunday was super dope.
Yeah.
So yeah, super dope project. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, definitely. You guys check out Styles P. Next up, we got Lil Yachty. Let's start here. I'll let you start this one off.
Man, okay. I didn't know what to expect. I've never really listened to a Lil Gotti project before. Now we did kind of have a little bit of knowledge that it was supposed to be a rock album. I think I'd read that somewhere on the net, and we might have talked about it briefly on the last pod. But man, like the vibes on this album were just kind of like all over the place. Like there were moments where I kind of had to kind of look at my phone and like who am I listening to again? Like
Yeah.
it was crazy. Man, I got Pink Floyd vibes from the album. I got Radiohead vibes from the album. I got Tyler the Creator vibes. I got Childish Gambino vibes, Andre 3000 vibes, like all kinds of stuff. But anyways, highlights for me, the Black Seminole, Failure, The Zone was one of my favorite songs on the whole project. Drive Me Crazy is crazy, fire. Um, I've officially lost vision was also pretty crazy and fire. Paint the Sky, The Alchemist, and Reach for the Sunshine. So, man,
Yeah.
to sum up everything I've said, uh, it's really I was thoroughly impressed. I really didn't know what to expect,
Mm-hmm.
and especially from a Lil Yachty rock album. Sorry,
Yeah.
but it's pretty dope, man. I gotta give him his props.
Yeah, I agree. I listened to this album in the uh Steam Room, actually. They have like you can listen to like YouTube in there, and I was listening to the album. It's dope, man. I mean, I enjoyed it as well. Shout out to whoever the musicians were on this project. I thought the album was well produced. I thought the musicians did a great job. I love a lot of the bass and guitar riffs. So yeah, it was real good. Highlights for me would be Running Out of Time, Pretty, Drive Me Crazy, Black Seminole, Say Something, and Reach the Sunshine. But yeah, I'm like you. I've never listened to a Lil Yachty album before. I've heard singles, but never an album. But I was thoroughly impressed as well. I thought he did a good job, and I think this is a good lane for him to stay in. Actually,
I definitely think it opens up his audience and maybe the type of people who would be open to listening to his music now. And I think it opens up a lot of different opportunities for him as an artist now. So
right?
shout out to Yachty, man.
Yeah. Next up, is it Wale the Sage? Or, was that right?
Yes, Wale the Sage.
Wale the Sage. I ain't gonna lie, this might be the album of the week for me. This album was crazy. Running from Time, this
Okay.
album. I loved it, man. I thought he had bars. Everything you was looking for was on it. His rapping, the visuals, everything was just real well done. Highlights for me would be Running from Time, Stuck in My Mind. 222 was crazy. Like he just like went off on that one. And then Everybody Dies. It's a short album, but it's definitely worth every minute, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's only like 9 tracks,
Yeah.
but his rapping ability I thought was really special when I first heard of him. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to, listen to his album this week. And I was thoroughly impressed myself. Highlights for me would be Blue, Don't Remind Me, 222, as you said, Everybody Dies, and Love Is. So shout out to Wale the Sage. Definitely be checking out more or checking for more of him and more of his music going forward. So yeah, dope project.
Yeah. Last but not least, man, Reuben Vincent-Love Is War. Another very impressive album. He has a lot of visuals for this particular album as well. He's on Rock Nation. I loved it, man. Money was fire. February 13th with Rapsody, she went off. Great song, great video as well. Trickin' featuring Damani. Great video as well for that one. And Point of View. Those were my highlights. But I love this album as well. His rapping ability is very good. And his bars and structure and setup and punchlines, everything is real, very well done.
Yeah, I like Ruben Vincent too. Yeah, Rock Nation, I think by way of Jamla Records, which is Ninth Wonder's label, if I'm not mistaken. Shout
Okay.
out Ninth
Okay.
Wonder.
Yeah.
So yeah, Love Is War is the name of the project. Definitely, like you said, a lyricist. But he can kind of jump into kind of a couple different bags. As far as his production goes, he's not necessarily confined to one sound. So I
Right.
thought that was cool too. Butterfly Doors is definitely a highlight for me. Geeshi Sway, I like that one too. Like you said, Money. Time Flies with the Janet Jackson sample was dope to me.
Yeah.
February 13th is crazy, man. Him and Rapsody both went crazy on that track. Especially Rapsody. Rapsody was crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rapsody.
Yeah. And she came back and did a second verse.
Man, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then I like creatively what he did with the track Bottle Service.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was creative, so I like that. And yeah, Tricking with Damani. Obviously, being Tip and Tiny son,
Mm-hmm.
that's I like his choice of collaboration, his the people he's choosing to collab with, the production. So I just like the whole vision of what he had for this project and what he's trying to do with it. So
Right. Yeah, yeah, same here. I enjoyed it. And it's good to see Damani even on this because just because T.I. is his father doesn't mean that he has to do that type of music. So it's cool to see him maybe experimenting and doing something totally different. We're going to talk about another legend son when we do singles as well. Like his music choices are different as well.
yeah, and hopefully Damani drops a project this year because I heard a few of his songs. I haven't listened to a whole album yet,
Mm,
but all of the songs that he's put out I've liked, and his style seems very different from Tips in general. So
right.
I kind of like what he's doing. I think he's kind of found the lane for himself that works, and
Yep.
he's doing his thing. So
Yeah. Yeah. Facts. Yeah, you guys definitely check out Reuben Vincent-Love Is War. Great project. Again, all these projects that we covered this week, I'm impressed with all of them. So I think it'd be worth your time to check them out.
absolutely.
New singles, Mike. What we got, man?
Okay, so first we had Papoose and Jim Jones making plays. What'd you think about that?
Yeah, it was cool, man. I mean, Papoose, just he took over a job somewhere. I forgot what company it is, but he's going to oversee the hip hop division of this particular department. So it's great to see Pap making big moves, doing new things, and I think Jim Jones, to me, he's always been probably him and Hell Rail have been my two favorite guys from Dipset, but Jim has gotten so much better over the years as a rapper. So I enjoyed the song.
Big facts. Yeah. Anybody who listened to Jim Jones in recent years should clearly be able to see his improvement as a rapper from, back in the day. So yeah, big shout out to Jim Jones for still caring about the craft and wanting to improve as an artist. And shout out to Pap, definitely dope song, dope collab. So shout out to both of them.
Yeah.
Um, Next, we got Kevin Gates, Breakfast. I'll start this one off. Um, Kevin Gates is a trip,
Kevin
man.
talking, hey, he's wilding out in the song, isn't it?
Kevin Gates is a trip, man.
Yeah.
Um, this is the one thing I'll say about Kevin Gates, and this is what I say about Kevin Gates. Anytime anybody asks me about, I think he can rap. I think his production is dope. Is some of the subject matter and the things that he be talking about specifically for me, or something that I agree with or that I represent? Not necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but I'll never take away that the man has talent.
Mm.
So, I thought it was cool. It's not as wild as some of his songs are as far as some of the content. I've heard a lot worse as far as, some of the stuff we be talking about. So,
Yeah.
this was kind of on the milder side, I guess. But it was cool. I really got no complaints. I
Right.
thought it was cool.
Right.
What
Yeah,
you think?
it was cool. I mean, it was crazy at the end of the video how they showed the girl's face for extended amount of time and everything he was referencing in the song. But yeah, it was cool though. Shout out to Kevin Gates, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt. Next we got Logic, Paradise 2. What do you think about that one?
One with Norah Jones. Yeah, I liked it, man.
Yes.
He can rap, man. I mean, I look forward to his album. Man, he's dropping a lot of singles. Like this album might be super long because he's putting out so many singles, but I definitely look forward to it. I think he's off to a good start, and I haven't heard anything from Norah Jones in years, so it's good to see her still passionate about music. But I thought overall it was a good single.
Yeah, interesting collab, but it worked. It worked really well. The beat was dope. Like you said, Norah Jones did her thing, and we actually got another Logic song on this list that we'll get to later, which
Right,
I think just dropped yesterday or the day before. So, like you said, a lot of stuff coming from Logic. Obviously, he's got a project coming out soon, and it looks like this could possibly be a long one because he's got a lot of singles out right now.
right,
So, shout out to Logic.
yeah.
And on that note, we will go to Eric Bellinger featuring Fabulous and Cordae, Curious. Um, this was cool. I enjoyed it. Eric Bellinger's the dope singer, obviously. Fab, is the feature monster,
Went off.
been the feature monster for years. So, he's always gonna do his thing. And I like Cordae's verse on here too. So I really enjoyed this. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was fire, man. It's funny. I heard a Fabulous song last night. Maybe we can cover it next week. But it was fire, man. So it's good to see Fab getting back out there doing some stuff. I know he was featured also on the Algorithm album with Snoop that we talked about. So yeah, Fab been making his rounds lately. And then Cordae, obviously, I'm still bumping that 210s record with Anderson .Paak. So it's good to see Cordae just going crazy as well.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
doubt.
it was a great song.
Yeah, for sure. I enjoyed it too. Next we got Lizzo featuring SZA-Special. Uh, I really enjoyed this track. Production is fire. SZA killed this song in my opinion. Like she just destroyed it. Lizzo, I like Lizzo and I like what she stands for.
Yeah,
So I think this song is just another representation of what she stands for and what she's about with her music, and it's about making people feel good.
right.
So I thought it was dope. Shout out to Lizzo and shout out to SZA. What'd you think?
Yeah, I'm a big fan, man. I like Lizzo. I think Lizzo is dope. SZA, she's on fire right now. But I mean, man, she's like a lot of her stuff is even being played on like the pop stations and stuff too, man. So SZA is on fire right now. But yeah, I like this collab. I thought Lizzo and both of them did a great job. But I'm a huge fan of Lizzo. I think she's just her music and everything that she represents is a good lane for her.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely. So shout out to both of them. Next, we got a newcomer to the pod, NF with Hope. What'd you think about that one?
Yeah, the video was crazy. Long song, man. He was just barring out, just going off. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I enjoyed the visuals on it as well. And I've heard a couple other songs from him. So I look forward to seeing what else he's gonna do in this year. But overall, the song was great.
Yeah, like you said, long video, uh, long song as well. And he kind of has like, I guess this is kind of like maybe his thing with the beats. They're very like cinematic and
Mm,
kind of grandiose in a way. And like you said, he kind of switches his mood from how the track may be intense at one part, and he may raise this level of intensity, or then
right.
he may drop it for the next part where it's a little more mellow. And I
Mm,
think he does good in that lane and at that type of music. So just another example of that. So I thought it was cool for that, no doubt.
yeah, fact.
Next we got J.I. with Star Power. J.I. was formerly on the television show The Rap Game with Jermaine Dupri. At that point, he went by the Prince of New York, and now he's doing this thing as a solo artist, and he's got this record Star Power, Star Power out. Uh, you know, for those who have seen J.I. from the Prince of New York rap game days to now, he's definitely changed his style a little bit. He was a lot more lyrical and things like that before. Now he kind of, sings a lot more. He's got
Mm,
kind of the auto tune thing, and very melodic, a lot more melodic than I ever imagined he would be back in those days. But he's got a little lane,
mm,
and he's found a nice lane and a nice, kind of niche for what he does. And his videos do very great numbers, and so I'm happy for him and what he's got going on. The song's kind of short, but
mm.
I thought it was cool. I thought the hook was kind of simple, but it's effective. So I thought it was cool.
Right. Yeah, it's lyric video. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I got a chance to I was reading the lyrics and listening to it, but yeah, it's kind of catchy. I wasn't up to speed with his background till you just broke it down or whatever. But yeah, we'll see what he does. He has a lane open. Maybe he feels with the way the melodic stuff is kind of hitting right now. That's something to do. We saw Nick Grant do that, who's super lyrical, but um, this album kind of had some Outcast vibes to it, the one that we covered last year. So we'll see what the young man is going to do. But overall, I thought it was a pretty cool song.
Yeah, thanks. Next we got Babyface Ray and 42 Dugg with Ron Artest.
Fire, bro. I
it
I love this song, man. I thought the song was crazy, man. I love the
was
video.
crazy.
Yeah, it was fire, man. I like that one a lot. I was like, man, it's kind of fire right here. Yeah,
Yeah, 42 Dugg went crazy to me. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I thought I really liked this one too, and wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. But I was like, yeah, this is kind of fire right here.
yeah,
So I enjoyed it as well.
yeah,
Next we got French Montana featuring Too Rare, Rock Top Top.
yeah.
I'll let you start it off.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, yeah, I mean he does these type of songs or whatever, but it works for him. It works for him. It's crazy. I was coming back from somewhere. I think I was coming back from Destin. I was listening to Mop Stick with him and Kodak Black. That's probably like my favorite song on that album he put out like 2 years ago. So I was bumping that a couple of days ago. But yeah, it's a cool song. I mean, definitely gonna get a lot of play. I can probably imagine it's getting played in the clubs or whatever. So French doing what French does.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a total dance record, total club record, and it's gonna definitely do good in those types of circles. Maybe not the best, song for just, cruising in the car listening, but in those circles, in the club scene and all of that, it's definitely something that most people are probably going to be hearing and probably going to be requesting. So
Yeah,
shout out to French on that.
yeah,
Quando Rondo, me first. Quando Rondo again, man.
yeah,
I have he's on like I've heard maybe 3 or 4 songs in the past couple of weeks, and every song he's putting out, I'm liking all of them.
yeah,
This is another example. I like this one as well. So
yeah.
I got nothing negative to say. I thought the video was dope, the visual was dope.
Hmm.
So shout out to Quando Rondo.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I think he had like 2 million subs on YouTube, man. So he's starting to kind of catch some traction. But yeah, I enjoyed the last one that we covered a couple weeks ago. Was it Long Live Path? I think what's the name of it. It's talking about his friend who had passed. But I enjoyed this one as well. Enjoyed the video also. So I look forward to upcoming project from Quando.
No, thanks. Next we got IDK with Radioactive. Uh, Now this was interesting because I think I mentioned on the pod last year that IDK put out a house album before Chris Brown and Beyonce did,
Mm,
and that nobody said anything about it. Like they just kind of went under the radar. And this is kind of like, you know, in that same vein,
mm-hmm,
uh, as far as the production. So I thought it was cool.
mm-hmm,
And it wasn't a huge surprise to me because I've seen IDK do songs like this in the past. So I
mm-hmm,
thought it was cool. I enjoyed it. Dope visual.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, shout out to IDK.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I love him, man. I love his music. I think I referenced this album 2 years ago as a classic on the pod. So yeah, I like his music. I like what he does, and I think he's real talented, man. I just think he just needs like a machine or like a bigger push behind him. He could really pop, but I think the guy's got like a lot of talent.
I think, you know, whether it's very apparent to, you know, everyone in the game. I definitely think people are catching on to what he's doing and his talent, and that machine may be, you know, getting behind him as we speak. So we'll see.
Yeah, yeah,
um, Next we got Ruben Vincent and Rapsody with February 13th. We spoke briefly about this during our talk about Ruben Vincent's album,
hmm
but once again the visual was dope.
yeah,
I thought Rhapsody went crazy
yeah.
on her two verses. Ruben Vincent's verse was incredible as well.
Mhm.
I thought they both were fire, and both were great. Both did their thing, and I thought it was a great song, great video, and I thought it was dope.
Hey, I agree 100%. Nothing to add. You covered it perfectly.
Okay. Next we got Lotto and Lou Kala with Lottery. Um, I like this, bro, a lot.
Yeah.
And the reason why I like this is because I feel like I personally feel like Lotto has been trying to get onto the pop charts. You know, I think that was a lot of her motivation behind making the Big Energy song,
hmm
and I think that works. You know, I think it worked to her for her to a certain extent.
hmm
But this song right here, I think this is if I'm right in assuming that she's trying to get on the pop charts, I think this is gonna be the one that does it.
Yeah.
I really think this is the one.
Yeah. Hey, great song. She's another one. When I was referencing SZA, they play a lot of Lotto like on pop stations because I listen to some pop music as well to kind of stay on top of what's out and what everybody's doing. But yeah, Lotto is one that I'm hearing on those pop stations, man. So like you said, I think she is this is smart for her, that she can do a song with Lil Bootsy and then she can do something that's on the pop stations. And but yeah, I think she has the potential, in my personal opinion, to probably be the biggest female rapper in the game right now.
I mean, I think she has a lot of potential, and these types of records definitely open her up to a bigger audience. And I think that she did a good job on just capitalizing, especially dropping this right after the Big Energy song. I think the timing is great, so
Right.
I think she's capitalizing on the moment and a lot of the attention that she has right now, and she's you know making making good by dropping good music. So shout
Yeah.
out to Lotto on that.
Facts.
Next, we got Logic with Wake Up. This one I enjoyed even more
Mhm.
than the first song. The video was dope.
Fire. Fire.
Uh, yeah. Um, the beat I thought was dope.
Mhm.
And Logic's really rapping and he's actually talking about some stuff. Not
Yeah.
that Logic ever, is not talking about something. But
Right.
sometimes you can be a little rappy, and
Mhm.
sometimes you have a little of a message. And he definitely had more of a message on this one.
Mhm.
So I thought that was dope. All around, like I said, looking forward to this Logic project to see exactly, you know,
Right.
what all of this sounds like together. But
Mm-hmm.
he's on a nice little streak with these singles right now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What you think?
Yeah, definitely. I thought the last album he put out last year with Ninth Wonder did a lot of the beats on it. I think it kind of went under the radar more than it should have.
Yeah,
But
Vinyl Day.
yeah, Vinyl Days. Yeah, the visual for this is fire, man. It's like a lot going on in the house. But he's talking, talking about the struggles of a black man, and what was that one bar? The pursuit of a bachelor, but had to stop to pick up a spatula. That was fire, like he was going off. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely. Next we got Jaden with Still in Love. Uh, I I like Jaden Smith. Music. I like Jaden Smith music. I think he's tried to branch out and do a lot of different things. He's kind of had some rock influence on some of his music as
Yeah.
well and different
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So, but I like his willingness to try different things and his creativity. And this one I feel is kind of more back in the bag of what I think people kind of knew him for or expected from him
Mm-hmm.
when he first came out. But I still like it. I like what he did with it. So it was cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. The visuals were really good. Which to be expected. I mean, the guy, makes movies and stuff, so I knew the visual, would be fire and put together well. But yeah, I enjoyed the song. It kind of had like some trippy, kind of spaced out type of music or whatever. But I think it's fire, man. I mean, it just kind of shows his diversity, and he's already, like a different type of guy anyway. So I thought everything he did just kind of fits his personality. So it's like him being him, but he's expressing himself, the way that he is, talking about still being in love. The last scene, I remember he was in like the phone booth screaming or whatever. So yeah, it was fire video.
Yeah, no doubt. I enjoyed it too. Um, we got Flo Milly with Nasty Dancer. Shout out to Flo Milly from Alabama.
Yeah,
So every time she drops, we're gonna look out for her.
right.
Um, Obviously, reference to the Kilo Ali track, and Flo Milli's kind of got her own style, and kind of like a little vibe that she has with her music. And
Mhm.
this was right in the bag of what I'm used to from her, so I thought it was dope. No complaints. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. Look forward to seeing what she's gonna do. It's great to hear, somebody from our state, which is Alabama, doing something. I think she had like 500,000 subs. So, it's fire, man, to see her, just elevating. I know we covered another song on the podcast, but it just seems like ever since then she's gotten like even better. So, we definitely want to, support her as much as we can.
Absolutely, she's definitely growing not only as an artist but growing her fan base as well. So shout out to Flo Milli.
Yeah.
Uh, Next we got Tech Nine with "Tell Everyone."
Fire.
Yeah, I enjoyed this one as well. I mean, it's Tech Nine
Yeah.
bars. The beat was cool. The flow is always gonna be crazy.
Hook was crazy. Yeah.
The hook was fire.
Yeah.
Nothing negative to say.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. And next we will move to Polo G and Future. No Time Wasted. I enjoyed this one too. Kind of had the football vibe going in the video. Kind of reminded me of Any Given Sunday a little bit, or maybe like something like Remember the Titans or something like that. But
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. Future's verse was cool.
Mhm.
So yeah, no
Right.
complaints on that one either.
Yeah. I remember we covered his album on the podcast before. I think Polo G, man, to me, he's like one of the most talented younger guys that's out. Guys that do, I guess, if you want to say auto tune rap or whatever. But for some reason, I seem to gravitate towards his music a little bit more than some of the other more popular guys or guys, that people may perceive to be popping or whatever. But I like Polo G.
Yeah, I like his music too. I haven't really heard anything from him that I haven't liked. Now, granted, like we said, we listened to that album last year, but outside of that, I haven't listened to any other albums. But
Right.
most of the stuff I've heard from him, I've liked. So shout out to Polo G.
Yeah.
This was good too.
Yeah. Facts. Facts.
And lastly, we got Larry June featuring The Alchemist, 60 Days. I'll let you start this one off.
Fire, man. I enjoy. I like Larry June. I listened to his album that we covered. I think just his style is unique and different. So I enjoyed it. The visuals were great. And Alchemist, man, Alchemist had his verse was short, but it was fire, man. Like he just I like Alchemist rapping anyway. I know he just kind of steps back a lot, whether he's DJing for M or he's producing music for everybody and their mama. But he's dope, man.
Yeah, no doubt. I was impressed. Larry June, I mean, he's consistently dope, and he can definitely get busy, no doubt. Um, so I'm never really surprised by hearing a Larry June song and liking it. You know, it's
Yeah.
just kind of common nature at this point. Um, I was thoroughly surprised by Al's verse though. Like Al kind of snapped on this. Like I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, this was kind of fire. Like okay, Al.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Shout out to both of them though.
Right.
And like you said, dope visual. Uh, just kind of puts you in the mindset of like, and it all is. You know what's funny? When I was watching the video, I was thinking, man, wouldn't it be great to just go off to like an island somewhere and like
Yeah.
have 60 days to record a project? I was like,
Right.
man, I could just imagine the type of
Yeah.
stuff I could come up with.
Right. Yeah. Especially that last scene when the camera went out and it showed the house and it was nice, man. It was real nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Hey, if that's where Larry June is creating and cooking up, no wonder why his music sounds like
Right. Right.
that.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice little vibe. And also it's cool to see like the little setup that they use too. A couple of those videos we saw, whether it was him, Quando Rondo, we saw just guys with just a laptop and a microphone.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't have to be super, crazy with the visuals or the videos. As long as you have a general idea of what you're trying to do and you can execute it, well, then yeah, you can have a good video without
right.
spending, $200,000. So,
Yeah,
and we're seeing a lot of that nowadays. So,
right. Right. Yeah. I mean, even who was that we covered last week on the show? She was got the text message that the budget was cut and then she started filming with the cell phone.
yeah, Car 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So facts, man. Man, it was heavy hearts, man, to lose one of our pioneers in the game, Trugor. De La, man, I just remember the music so much as a kid growing up. And I remember when they was kind of I guess MIA for a minute, and then they came back with the stakes as high. Oh my God, man. It's like these guys are different, man. But just lyricists. I've always loved them. EPMD, those were, like groups I really enjoyed when I was like a youngin'. But yeah, De La Soul, man, those guys are legends, man. But it's sad to lose him. I don't know. Remember they had some incident. I think they were fighting with the label, trying to get the masters back, or it was something with the music that they was kind of having a discrepancy about or whatever. And even Joe Budden was echoing and trying to see them, get their proper, rights and everything that it was fighting for the music. But rest in peace to Dave, man. I know you're gonna cover it a little bit more in detail, but I just wanted to say that we definitely lost a pioneer.
yeah, no doubt. I think, and I could be wrong about this, but I think what you're referencing, uh, with what Joe Budden was talking about, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that they just re-released, maybe it was 3 Feet High and Rising,
Okay.
and another project because of the fact that they weren't getting any money off of those projects. So I think that's what you're talking about.
Right,
And
right.
they just now got, the rights to those projects to where they can actually own the masters and all of that. So
Yeah.
I think that's what you're referring to.
Right.
But just like you said, hip hop legend. I mean, De La Soul, you know, one of the most iconic groups when you start talking about hip hop. And I mean, he went by a few names: True Boy the Dove, Plug Two, the one I know him most as Dave, and his actual name David. So just a little background information. He was also a member of the collective Native Tongues. He also co-wrote the song "Feel Good Inc." for the Gorillaz, which featured De La Soul, and he won a Grammy for that in 2006 for Best Pop Collaboration with Vocals. He was born in Bronx, New York, to Haitian parents. Grew up in Long Island. Uh, he attended Amityville Memorial High School in the Amityville area of Long Island. That's where he met Vincent Mason, Kevin Mercer, and Paul Houston, the other members of De La, and Paul Houston being the producer, Prince Paul, obviously. And that's where they ended up forming De La Soul. And, True Boy, The Dove, Maceo, Posdnuos were born. And, when they first came out, a lot of people uh, were kind of perplexed by their style, some of their fashion choices and the kind of positive, uplifting messages in their music. And a lot of journalists and critics kind of classified them as the hippies of hip hop, which was a title, so to speak, that they weren't really, you know, they didn't really like and were kind of dismissive of. So I think that's a lot of the reason why they dropped the album De La Soul Is Dead after that, to you know, kind of get distance themselves away from that narrative that people were trying to create for them. But
Right.
like you said, hip hop pioneers, Dave, obviously, like I said, one of the pioneers, one of the founding members, 1/3 of De La. So I'm sure uh, the rest of the members, hearts are heavy. Our condolences go out to him, his family, the rest of the members of De La, Prince Paul, and everybody that was just close to him, and everybody in the hip hop community, who was touched by him and his music. Uh, our thoughts and prayers just go out to them. Our condolences to his family, and another hip hop legend lost, and it's
Right.
kind of how, yeah, kind of something that we kind of been seeing a lot lately.
Right. Yeah. Common and Nas wrote some great tributes to him, and giving him his flowers. I was listening to Shade 45 last week. I know when they closed the show out, Rude Jew had some nice things to say about him as well. I was listening to Drama, and then when Drama went off, I forgot whose show came on next, but they had like a whole set, dedicated to De La. So, but yeah, man, anybody that's young and maybe not even up to speed or even know that much about De La Soul, definitely check those guys out because they are legends. They are like some of the architects who really put it down for, a great lyricist today. So, check out De La Soul. If you're 25 and younger, never heard of them, definitely check them out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, lastly, I guess we'll go ahead and close it out with a shout out to Killer Cam. Recently just lost his mom, so our
Yeah.
thoughts and prayers are with him and the rest of his family. Obviously, that's a difficult thing to go through, so we're definitely thinking about him and his people. So shout out to Cam,
Yeah.
and my thoughts and prayers are with him and his family.
Yeah. Prayers and shout out to Cam, man. We're praying for his family during this difficult time. Give everybody your social media, Mike.
Yeah, it's M1C underscore CH3CK. That's Mike Check on Instagram. Follow me there.
All right. You can follow me at Terrance Hill the Great Also, you can check me out at Terrance Hill Music on YouTube and Terrance Hill on Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, share this channel, and look out for next week. We got more exciting content that's going to drop. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.